And yeah, we're on. Okay, so it looks like Tram won't be able to join us. I haven't got a message from her on the forum, so Tram, if you're watching this, don't forget, if you want to join us and you can't, or if you said you would join us and you can't, just let me know on the forum, then I know not to keep an eye on people logging in and out, etc. Now, Marco, you were asking about how can you change your badge about your membership. Did you figure it out? What appears above your head? Yeah?
Yes, I know. Good.
Excellent. Good.
Zom helped me how to not how to clear, but how to remove. But we didn't know how to add just a member of LEN network.
Okay.
Yes.
LEN members, yeah? You just activate it, okay? You just go to your groups, right click on the group you want to show above your head and you activate it, but you also have to make sure that you're set up to show group membership, which you are. At the moment, I've got member of Hypersonic Systems. Woohoo! April's member of LEN Supervisors. Monik is member of LEN Members, and Shiny is member of LEN Members as well. You won't be able to see your own. I don't think. What does it show above my head? Anything?
Nothing.
Okay, that's because I've got it set up.
For any one of you.
Okay.
I can see anything.
You can't. You have to change it in your preferences then. Okay.
Oh.
You can go to preferences and it gives you all sorts of different visuals. Okay. So when you look at, I think it's notices, you can...
Notices, notifications. Maybe.
Not notifications, no. I'm just trying... I've just moved to a different viewer, so it's going to be slightly different.
Go to general.
General, oh, thank you.
General.
Okay.
General, okay.
So I normally... Okay, it says name tags off or on, okay? So if you have name tags on, then it shows your name tag to other people, and you can also hide your group title or show your group title.
Hide, for me, is not checked. Hide on group titles.
There you go. Then
to check it.
If you check it, then nobody will be able to see what group you're a member of.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, yes. So it's not checked for me.
Okay. So once you've checked that, and then you might need to relog, but don't bother with it today. It's just for future future reference, basically. Okay. But I had it down on my list of things to do when we had time, to just say to you, had you sorted yourself out with it, or did you need more help? But remember, I
will dedicate one session.
Yeah, well, just look through your preferences.
One of my sessions to explain me about Kitely.
Oh my goodness!
Yes.
You think that will only take one session? Okay, you can ask for that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm optimist.
It's probably 2 sessions, mate. It's probably 2 sessions.
Two. I have 2. Okay.
You do.
And third is possible.
It's possible. Yes, you never know. I
Because
haven't done the draw yet.
Announce.
I haven't done the draw yet. No. I was doing the new game last night, so I hope it's not too confusing. But somebody's already got it, and so
What game? Sorry.
On English radio. It's a new game. Last week it was Guess the Theme, and it's not Riddle Me Ree, it's a hidden word. So you listen to a sentence, write the sentence out, and then find the hidden word. I tell you how many letters there are, but you have to look for the hidden word, and it's joined up between 2 words. 2 words in the sentence. When you put parts of them together, so it will be the end of one word and the beginning of the next word, and you put them together, you will find a hidden word. Okay? It's easy. Good, April. I'm glad to hear it. Well, I thought last week's Riddle Me Ree and the week before's was so difficult. You needed something challenging but not too difficult.
But for every day we have one word.
Yes, every day there's a word.
When we have to send.
Yep, and if you send it to me in a private message that day, okay, it has to be that day, not the next day. Don't do them all at once at the end of the week. Each day, then you get entered. You get 1 entry into the draw per day. Okay, per correct answer, of course. But it's like a daily limit. So it doesn't matter if you miss a couple of days, if you get 3 days, 4 days, that's fine. You'll get 4 entries into the draw if your
But less
answer's correct.
possibilities, yeah. If you collect them all, you will have
you have more possibilities. Absolutely, the law of
Yes.
probability. The law of probability. It's
But you mean that the words are related to one word?
No, it's a sentence, and there's a word hidden in the sentence. So a sentence is made up of words, okay? But if you look at the sentence, and you'll find they're always 2 words next to each other, and you join them together, you'll find a hidden word in those 2 words, okay? Of course, there's more than 2 words in the sentence, so you have to figure out the 2 words, put them together, and figure out the hidden word, okay?
Yeah, but what if, as you say, that you don't need to listen to listen to the radio station every day? I mean, I can miss 1 or 2 days. So how can it be possible if I don't listen, for example,
because
Tuesday or Wednesday?
Each game is standalone, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
It
Now, the
makes
only reason I'll play the same game is if, for example, on one day nobody gets it, then the same sentence will be played the next day. But we've already had a winner today, so there'll be a new sentence tomorrow, okay? So
you mean that during one... Okay, so you mean that during that time of the challenge, we'll have like several words during the whole hour?
No. During the hour, you'll have one sentence, okay, and one sentence per day.
Yeah.
One sentence.
No, one word. Okay, got it.
It's a whole
And it will be
sentence.
played.
Find the hidden word in that sentence. But it's the same sentence on a day. If nobody gets it by midnight of that day, it'll be the same sentence the next day, but it will be a new sentence tomorrow because somebody's already got it, okay? But it doesn't matter. You can all still have a go because it's a draw, okay? So we've got 1 entry into the draw for today. By the end of the week, you could potentially have 6 draws, 6 entries into the draw, or 4 if you only get 4 words right. Or only 1 if nobody guesses it during the whole week.
Then you will win.
Yeah, but no, you go into a draw. If April's just said it's easy, so I'm expecting a correct answer from her today. Go on, put your money where your mouth is, April. But each word you get correct, so you've potentially got 6 entries. And if everybody plays, that could be 14, 15, 18, 24 people into the draw, 24 entries into the draw, 6 each. And so it'll be from 1 to 24, and whoever gets the number is the winner. Okay? So it's a little different to Riddle Me Ree, where there's only 1 word at the end of the week. By the end of the week, you could have potentially 6 correct answers. Okay? Give it a go. It plays at the same time as the Riddle Me Ree. So 7 o'clock, or what are the times? 2 o'clock, 8 o'clock, something like that. Whatever they are from. 7 o'clock is definite this morning, and it played. I was listening. I was like, oh, phew, it worked. But anyhow, it's
I hope
easier
it works.
but more complicated.
My problem is the proxy.
Yeah, I know.
My problem is the proxy. You know, so if it's I don't know if the stream stops,
then
it's like okay, maybe I missed.
Sorry, I know.
The sentence.
As you know, I have no control over that whatsoever. It's all down to radionomy. I hate it because it's killing the station, but that's life. They're not bothered, so I'm not going to bother. There's nothing I can do. I have to be quite relaxed about it, otherwise I'd have a nervous breakdown. Okay. It's true though, with technology, you really have to learn to let go. It's not working. Okay. Let's find something else that works, or let's just take a break. Come back tomorrow. That's what I did last Friday. I was like, okay, it's not working. I thought nobody wants to come and play today. But it actually worked nicely this morning, I have to say. Now, I have another question for you guys. Related to this session, how is my voice? You know how you said last week my voice was breaking up quite regularly. I got 2-1-2-1-2-1.
Are you streaming already?
I am streaming, yes.
Okay, it's good.
Perfect. Yes.
Hey, excellent. Do you know what?
It's perfect.
It's perfect. Okay. Then I do warn you, if you don't need to use a VPN for online streaming sessions, don't use one. Okay, if you have to use it to get in, then you have to use it. You were saying if your proxy doesn't work, but it was the proxy that was killing my connection, and it really drove me nuts because it took so long to figure it out. Hubby was, of course, told you so, told you so. What is it about men when they say something? And it was just crazy because I was like, yeah, but it works on my laptop. And he says, your laptop's on Wi-Fi. It handles Wi-Fi differently. And I said, well, it shouldn't. But no, it seems to have really settled down my connection, just getting rid of it. Shame, because I can't watch BBC now, but that's life. That's life. Anyway, so last week we were talking about wishes and wants, which I haven't been able to...
But Lynn.
Oh, yes, April?
Lynn?
Yep.
About the game.
Yes.
I found another word, nice word, in the sentence, hidden word.
Is it
You sing.
from two words? Is it from two words
From
joined together?
the ending of one word, and the beginning of the other word.
Of the next word?
Yeah, of the next word.
Oh,
yeah. So
trust you.
Yeah, it is a nice word.
Okay. Well, you can send me both. Whichever one is correct, you'll get into the draw for, okay? But I warn you, if it's not a word, I will disqualify you. I was very careful. Well, I thought I'd been careful.
It's not according to the rule then, because you said it's only two words. If I take this hidden word, I need 3 words actually. I need 3 words. So the ending of one word, and then the word after that, and then the beginning of the word.
No, you can't do that. No. 2 words together. Okay. I was like, how have you found a second word? Because I really was careful and looked very, as careful as I ever am. You know, I quite often make a mistake, as you know, especially with clues. I think, oh, that's it. That's perfect. And then you realise, oh, actually, there's another one in there. But there you go. But this should only have 1 word. 2 words, end of 1 word, beginning of the next word. So otherwise, if you're doing anagrams, and you'd be able to find loads of words hidden in there. But no, it's got to be just 2 words.
Anagram.
Yeah, you'd be able to just put this into an anagram finder. You find loads of different words all mixed up. But no, we're not doing that. That would be too difficult. Okay, so this week I thought we could discuss the role play from last week, okay, and have a look at the second part. Now, question to you all, has anybody got an idea of what happens next? So last week we had the band members arguing about the concept for the concept album. Can you remember what the concept was in the end?
He talked about the hand. No, I forgot the name.
Well, have a look in your inventory. If you look under, I think it's look for band or Stonehenge.
Stonehenge.
Yeah. Band. The band Stonehenge. You should find it in your inventory. Marco, Rema, you will need... Yeah, there was discussion of yin yang and Signs of the Zodiac, if you remember. They started out, the concept album would be Signs of the Zodiac, and the band would dress up. A couple of moments to just read through it. It's quite funny. It's a tribute to a famous film. Stonehenge, that's it. Yeah, April. Stonehenge was going to be the concept. Now, what was the idea? How are they going to make Stonehenge part of the band? What was going to be? What did they have to do to get this fantastic idea into fruition?
Because they want to build that Stonehenge on the scenery.
So they can't build Stonehenge, can they? But what could they do?
To recreate or to...
Yeah, to build what? To build a model. So they were going to build a model of Stonehenge on the stage. Now, if you look at our stage, it would have to be a bigger stage than that. That's a bit of a small stage for Stonehenge. So, how feasible do you think that would be? Let's do a feasibility study. Feasible. You know what that means? If something is feasible?
Viable is something that you can do.
Yeah, something that's possible. You know, how feasible do you think it is? I mean, can you think of any times when people have built huge models of things for any reason? Life-size models? What industry do they do that a lot of? For movies, yeah, Monik, for films, for movie sets, absolutely. They build life-size models of, well, all sorts of different sets, yeah? So for movie sets, if you remember, cast your mind back, April, I think you came to the session on the theatre. Quite often, theatre sets are built to be almost life-size. And CGI is actually used in theatre now as well. But if you think of a life-size or a film prop, yeah? Any other times when people build these life-size models?
Sometimes for museums.
Yeah, museums. Good one. Yeah, absolutely. When they're trying to recreate an experience. If you go to the War Museum in the UK, they've got life-size models of the trenches with lots of sound effects and things like that. That's this immersive experience. April, you were going to say something?
Yeah, in Jakarta, we have kind of a park. And there is models of houses according to the to every part of Indonesia. We have 26 provinces, so every province has their own specialty of houses, and they put it in the real size in that park, open, such an open museum.
Yeah, we
So,
actually do
houses,
say life size, not just real size or actual, just life size. Yeah.
Life size. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Marco's crashed. Oh no! Oh no, he's back. No, he's dancing. Marco, what are you doing?
I don't know. I just clicked on the floor.
Yeah, because
I'm streaming this, Marco. I am streaming this.
Okay. I'm amazing with my movements. I didn't
Absolutely.
know that I know to
Look
do
at
it.
that. Okay, the dance floor is scripted, so it will make you dance. Yes. Okay. Fantastic. Okay, so we've got similar things in the UK and in Germany, especially when you want to visit something historical. So they'll build life-size models of old Victorian streets. I think there's one in Ironbridge, the beginning of the Industrial Revolution and all that. There's also one near Frankfurt in Hessen, which is sort of a Stone Age village. where they've recreated some old Tudor-style houses as well. So they're not the originals. I mean, you can visit old buildings, of course, but these are recreations, life-size recreations, because it would be too much to it would be too difficult to let people walk around and touch things if it was the original. It would. They preserve the originals and they build life-size models so that we can interact with them, I guess. Yep, Madame Tussauds. Yeah, April, well done. What kind of models do you find at Madame Tussauds?
Famous people in wax.
In wax, yeah, waxwork models. Waxwork models. I always preferred the worst waxwork museum in the UK, which was up north. Unfortunately, I think they've closed down. But if you go onto Google and do Google Images, they had some really rubbish waxwork models. They were actually, I find Madame Tussauds creepy because they look so realistic, and these looked so awful. They were just fun. So what if it's not life-size? What do we call it if it's not life-size? Yeah, well done. A miniature model. Can you think of any miniature models? Have you ever visited miniature models?
Houses here, Madurodam in the Netherlands. Small houses.
Yeah?
With everything. Streets, trains.
Excellent. That sounds fun. Because you can also find models built out of other materials, made to look. Okay. Has anybody ever seen these models?
Lego.
Lego models, yeah. Has anybody here been to Lego World?
Yeah.
Only from the outside. From the outside. Not be inside.
No? Okay. Hi, Ilka.
Hello. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. We're just talking about modelling and models, and life-size models and miniature models. I don't know if that's something you're familiar with.
Fashion models or what?
The sort of models you can build of things. So we were talking about
solid.
Lego is one thing. People build models of things out of bricks, Lego bricks, yeah? And then we've got modelling clay as well.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah? Have you ever built a model? Has anybody here ever actually built a model? You can get model kits as well.
I used to build more when I was a child. Nowadays I don't do building any models.
No, hubby used to build models of aeroplanes when he was younger. Airfix, they were called. But no, he doesn't do that either. Although a friend of ours does. He builds models of battlegrounds. It's sort of toys for grown-ups, yeah? All of Waterloo, Napoleon, everything. Yeah, I know, Monik.
With which material?
Too many pieces for me.
Oh, all sorts. I mean, really tiny things, and he paints them by hand as well. So he buys model kits, but he also builds his own using anything, cardboard, modelling clay. Yeah, he's very into it. There's a whole group of people who do this. So you can build models of anything. In some ways, we're standing in a model. This is a virtual model. and it's built out of bits and bytes. Has anybody heard of Minecraft?
It's another appealing game for a lot of people.
Yeah, it is a game where you build things using, it's a little bit like virtual Lego, so you just use squares and blocks to build. And people have built models of whole countries, the Colosseum. Everything has been built as a model. It is a game, yes, Minecraft. Exactly. Here we use prims. There they use even more basic prims. But people love it. I've never played. It doesn't appeal to me. But I've read a lot about it, and a lot of educators like it because it brings in principles of building, etc., and creative and group stuff. But I think it's, to me, OpenSim is enough. I don't want to go into Minecraft too. April, yeah?
What about Dollhouse, Lynn? That is a beautiful model. Dollhouse?
A dollhouse, yeah, dolls' houses. And we tend to say dolls' houses. I mean, how many years have people been building dolls' houses? And have you ever seen any famous dolls' houses? We've got one of the most famous dolls' houses in the world, actually, in the UK, from Queen Mary.
What is my avatar doing now?
You're dancing, Ilka.
Why am I dancing? I have no idea.
Okay, if you click on stand, it will stop. But if you sit on, yeah, that's it. Okay, it's that platform is a dancing platform, so it's scripted. It's a dance floor. So what you did is you clicked on it, and it will automatically make you dance. Don't worry. But has anybody ever heard of Queen Mary's Doll's House?
Nope.
It's amazing. I will give you the link, okay, for later. I'll put it in the forum too. But it's one of the most beautiful examples of a doll's house you're ever likely to see. It's got miniature artwork and books written by the artist, painted by the artist and written by the author. So like miniature books from Charles Dickens, that kind of thing, Shakespeare, etc. Just amazing. And you can do a virtual tour online. Have a look. And I went to see it in real life, but it's a horrible experience because you stand in a queue, a bit like Madame Tussauds, and you have to move. Move along. And I'm like, but I want to look at the things. And you're not allowed to touch anything. So I think the online tour is actually quite nice. Okay, so last week, Ilka, I will share a note card with you. This is the drama session, and we were talking about, we played through this last week, okay, and that's why we're talking about models now. Last week we left the band talking about having a model built of Stonehenge, okay. How do you think that went?
Before the
Yeah, the idea is they're going to build a model of Stonehenge, a life-size model of Stonehenge, for their theatre production, for their concept album. So it'll probably be on tour with them. They have to be erected every time they move, and they'll have to be taken down and moved and shipped to the next gig, to the next concert. Is it feasible? There's that word again, feasible. Is it possible? I mean, what does Stonehenge look like? If you were going to build a model of Stonehenge, what would you build it like? What would you use? Lego? That'd be fun.
No.
I bet you there is a Lego model of Stonehenge out there, a life-size one. I'd be very surprised. I'm looking. Life-size model of Stonehenge Lego. Okay. Lego Ideas Project Stonehenge. You can build a life-size model of Stonehenge. There you go. That's one of their special requests. Yes, absolutely.
I think even from from boxes, the papers, yeah, because I don't think it is more difficult than other props because it's only stones here and there.
True,
No?
yeah, it's
For
just
me.
stone, a bit heavy. They could use cardboard and special paper, yeah, yeah. Remember, paper is always uncountable unless you're talking about specific papers, legal papers, that kind of thing. Okay, so cardboard and special paper. Yeah, bit of glue. It's the sort of thing you might do on Blue Peter. By the way, Blue Peter. Okay, Blue Peter. Very famous for getting children in the UK to build models.
So what's that?
It's a TV program, BBC. And,
Okay.
yeah, their most famous wasn't life size, but the idea was cardboard, glue, papier-mâché, fairy liquid washing up bottles. It's amazing. And their most famous was Tracy Island. Back in 1993. Okay. Tracy Island, does that mean anything to you? If I say to you Tracy Island? Have you heard of Thunderbirds? Thunderbirds are go! Okay, Thunderbirds was a children's programme in the UK. Puppets, yeah. And Tracy Island, it was Thunderbirds International Rescue. They would go around the world rescuing people. And Tracy Island was their base. It was an island, and it was their base. And so Blue Peter decided they were going to show children how to make their own Tracy Island, their own model of Tracy Island. Okay? I made a model of Tracy Island, but I didn't have any UPVC glue. It was expensive. I had newspaper and I had flower water. My mum said, why don't you just use flower water? That will work. So I made my model of Tracy Island using newspaper and flower water. That's flour as in FLOUR, okay? To make the glue, mixing water and flour together to make the glue. I put it in the airing cupboard to dry. And a week later, 2 weeks later, there was this funny smell in the house. I'd forgotten about it. I was a kid, come on. I'd forgotten about it. And there was this horrible smell. And suddenly I realised, hang on, what's that smell? Where's that smell coming from? Anyhow, we found this model in the back of the airing cupboard. Mouldy. It had mould and fungus growing out of it. What do you mean I was allowed, Monique? Of course I was allowed.
Because you were a child, so yeah. Because you were a child, so no, yeah. I think at that time you can do a lot of things, and yeah, you'll be forgiven.
Be forgiven, absolutely, yes. But it really stank, and it really was a slimy, horrible mess. So that was the end of my modelling career, to be honest. The only modelling career I'm ever likely to have. Now, there's modelling and modelling, of course. Don't confuse them. To build a model isn't the same as to model something. What's the difference between to build a model and to model something?
To construct and to complete to build a model is like someone who have to do it, someone who has to do it, and to model something is like maybe more creative. You are a creator of some model.
Possibly,
yes.
but it's not that distinctive. They're almost the same. You build a model, you are modelling something on something, okay? However, to model is to copy something, absolutely. And to model something is to maybe use something as a pattern for it, okay? You can model yourself on someone. Okay, sometimes when people are learning a language, they'll try to model the way they speak on somebody else. Yeah? You might try to model your career on somebody who's rich and famous. Okay, so to build a model tends to be physical. To model something can be physical or conceptual, can be an idea or a way of doing something. And to model, that's something slightly different. To model. So to model is more... Oh, hang on, no, let's get rid of that. I haven't got that. So to model, it's more... Oh, look at me. Remember when we were doing our fashion?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, when we were doing the model along the catwalk, yeah? So you've got the model catwalk. Yeah, a model, a fashion show, not a mode show. Mode is French, April. You can model my RMR intro. Yeah, maybe. Model your voice on my voice. I wouldn't bother.
To copy. To
copy, yes, exactly. Okay. So it's an interesting little word, model. You can also be a model student. What does it mean if you're a model student?
When you are studying art and you just... are you talking about that field?
No. If you're a model student...
I know, so a remarkable student.
Yeah, the best. Oh, she was a model employee. A model teacher, maybe? But, April, like you. Exactly. April is a model student. Like role model. A role model is somebody other people might aspire to be. So there's often talk in football, actually, Marco, that footballers are role models for a lot of young people. Therefore, they should behave as role models. Must be difficult when you're a footballer, though, because generally not... the requirement isn't to be a good footballer. The requirement doesn't usually mean good morals.
Yes.
But they're asked to be role models. Once they become famous, they are asked to be role models. Oh, you shouldn't go out drink driving. You shouldn't go out womenizing. You're meant to be a role model. And they go like, yeah, but I'm a young, male, rich footballer. I don't want to be a role model. Okay, so... how do you think this fantastic idea of the concept album, a model of Stonehenge on the stage, part of the scenery for the band, how do you think it's going to work out? Do you think it's a good idea? Would you support the idea yourself? Great idea. Let's build Stonehenge. What could go wrong? Famous last words. What could possibly go wrong? April?
Can fall. The bulk. Can you say that? The bulk. The beam? No. Bulk, yeah? No, bulk is from wood, I think, yeah?
Oh, bark.
Bark?
Bark is from wood.
Or the
That's
bar?
You mean the actual construction? The blocks?
Yeah, the blocks are on the horizontal.
Okay. So, yeah, I'd just say the blocks might fall. The horizontal blocks might fall. A bar is normally something you can hang on to. Or something you can drink at. So the horizontal blocks might... Oh, that's true. They could kill somebody, couldn't they? They fell on somebody's head. Anything else? It depends on the band, but it's possible. Okay. Can you think of any possible problems? Let's do a feasibility study. Or a risk analysis. What do you mean by only for watching, Shiny?
Oh, it isn't practical only for watching, not for practical use. You know, if you build a toilet, it doesn't mean that you can use it.
Oh yeah, it's a model generally isn't considered for use, otherwise it's a copy. There's a difference between a model and a copy. Okay, so it would only be visual. I thought you meant that you could maybe do a lot of bands, even live now, they use CGI, computer generated images, so that might be possible to just have a CGI of Stonehenge, and that's not as risky as having big blocks on stage, April.
And those material, they might be inflammable.
Yeah, you don't need to use rock to create a model. That's true. You could use polystyrene. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know they use a lot of electricity in life, so it might cause some fire.
Oh, fire hazard. Yes. Yeah. I can't count the number of bands that they've decided to have fireworks at their big concerts and then they've burnt the place down. That has happened in the past. A lot of them, yes. Especially if you had a big polystyrene model of Stonehenge as well. Set fire to that, you'd know it. Yeah, that would be an issue. And space as well. How on earth? You'd have to have a big venue for a model of Stonehenge. Stonehenge is huge. Does anybody know how big Stonehenge is? Has anybody been? No? Well, each stone, and the stones are actually called sarsens. Okay, don't ask me why. Somebody decided they would call the stones each stone sarsens are 30 feet high. Okay, so they're 30 feet tall and they weigh 25 tons. That's each stone. Do you know how many stones there are? I think so, at least that, okay. So you've got, let's see, how many stones are there at Stonehenge? Okay, standing stones, There are 75 standing stones. But there are also 93 rocks or lumps of stone. Okay. And they've worked out that it's underneath there are other stones that have rotted over time as well. So that's a lot of weight, a lot of stones, a lot of size. Okay. Anyway, let's have a look at what happens next in the actual play. Okay. Now we need a promoter and an artist. Marco, you weren't here last week, so lumps, yes, lumps of stone. Bear with me. Let me just find the note card. Part 2. Okay. Okay, so I'll save it. I'll share it with you all, okay? And there's just 2 people in this one, the artist and the promoter. So have a read through and then tell me what happens, what's gone wrong. The best laid plans of mice and men, we often say, when things go wrong. Okay, April, you're laughing. Why? Monik, what's gone wrong?
The artist built actually only the miniature of the Stonehenge in 18 inches square.
Yeah.
18 inches square? Yeah.
So the artist has turned up and presented his model, and the obviously thinking, okay, yeah, that looks great, that's great, that's great. So it'll be just like this. What do you mean it'll be just like this? This is it. What do you mean this is it? It's only 18 inches high, but that's what you asked for on this piece of napkin.
Oh my gosh, that's a massive mistake.
It happens a lot. What do you have to do when you're building a model?
You need to search about the real size of the dimensions, as you say.
Yeah, the dimensions. You need, I mean, this is my rubbish attempt at creating the idea of what they're going to end up. So it's not going to be quite as impressive, really, as they'd hoped, because they didn't get the dimensions right. They didn't measure it properly. They wrote it on the back of a napkin, and that's always fatal. And the artist gets it and goes, okay, yeah, I can model that. Builds the model, thinking that's what he's building, but it's just a tiny little model of Stonehenge, like a toy, as he said. It's not a model of Stonehenge, it's a toy. So let's read through it. Who would like to be... Marco, if you be the promoter, who would like to be the artist?
Lynn, what does it mean, triptych?
Oh, triptych. Yes, it's an arty term. Okay. Try, yeah. So try, part of 3. Okay. And the triptychs in Stonehenge are, of course, quite often the boulders, the rocks, are built in pieces of 3. There's the 2 standing stones, and then there's the cross piece at the top. Okay, the triptych.
Like 2 posts and crossbar.
That's it.
Like
yeah.
a goal.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
okay.
it. Okay. But a triptych is also, it could be a piece of art, but a painting that's in 3 parts, that's often called a triptych too. Okay. But anything to do with 3, even musical works can be a triptych. Okay. But in this context, it's talking about the 3 parts of a typical standing stone at Stonehenge. Okay. With the archways, with the cross pieces. Okay, thank you, April. Okay, so Marco, you're the promoter. April, you're the artist. So let me get off the stage. And April, you're presenting your beautiful work. You've worked really hard on this model.
I'll support you, April. I'll be next to you. I'll be quiet.
Yeah, because Marco will kill me.
No, April.
Ready?
No way. You can build any Stonehenge. Stonehenge. Where I have to stand, Lynn?
Wherever, it doesn't matter. I would just stand by the model, and you're there to look at it and assess it. You're very happy to start with. Okay.
Okay. This looks actually perfect. I mean, it's the right proportions. It will be this color, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just terrific. It almost looks like the real thing.
Well, good.
And when we get the actual set, when we get the piece, it'll follow exactly these specifications. I mean, even these contours and everything.
I don't understand. What do you mean, the actual piece?
Well, I mean when you build the actual piece.
But this is what you asked for, isn't it?
What?
Well, this is the piece.
This is the piece?
Yes.
Are you telling me that this is it? This is the scenery? Have you ever been to Stonehenge?
No, I haven't been to Stonehenge.
The triptychs are 20 feet high. You can't stand 4 men beneath them.
Look, I was supposed to build it 18 inches high.
This is insane. This isn't a piece of scenery. It's a toy.
Look, this is what I was asked to build. 18 inches, Right here, it's specified 18 inches. It was given this napkin,
Forget this. Stop the napkin.
Very good. Well done. Okay, so I think Monik was being a bouncer there.
I'm just trying to analyze this piece of something.
Excellent. Well done. Well done, both of you. Well done. And really good outrage. This. This is what I was given. I was given the napkin. Stuff the napkin. Do you know what that means when somebody says stuff it? Stuff it. Nothing to do with turkeys. Christmas. It just means forget it. It's not nice. It's not polite. But it's not, strictly speaking, a swear word. Okay, very good. So next week we'll try and put the whole thing together, if that's okay. You should have two pieces of text now. So we'll try and put the whole thing together. I'll see if I can do a better model of Stonehenge. I'm going to try and get one in from, I think it's CG Share or something. But I've got a bit of converting to do if I can. If I can't, we'll just keep my crappy Stonehenge, as I call it. Any questions before we finish?
Looks like a fence, but it's okay.
Yeah, I know. Everyone's a critic. I knocked that up in 5 minutes before the session, okay? It's nothing like Stonehenge, by the way. Don't look at that and think, well, I'm not going to bother going to... Actually, going to Stonehenge is a little bit overrated, because you can't really, unless you go at solstice, midsummer, you can't really get that close to the stones. You can look at them, but you can't touch. There are other menhirs around the world that are much more interesting, including in Brittany, in France. There's some fantastic ones. But Stonehenge is very famous. I mean, it is the most famous one. Okay, so if there are no more questions, then, or no questions at all, then I will declare this session closed and stop streaming. Okay, so I'm stopping streaming now. No, it's a sentence and there's a word hidden in the sentence. So a sentence is made up of words, okay? But if you look at the sentence, and you'll find they're always two words next to each other, and you've joined them together, you'll find a hidden word in those two words, okay? Of course, there's more than two words in the sentence, so you have to figure out the two words, put them together and figure out the hidden word, okay?
Yeah, but what if, as you say, that you don't need to listen to listen to the radio station every day? I mean, I can miss 1 or 2 days. So how can it be possible if I don't listen, for example,
because
Tuesday or Wednesday?
Each game is standalone, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Now, the only reason that I'll play the same game is if, for example, on one day nobody gets it, then the same sentence will be played the next day. But we've already had a winner today, so there'll be a new sentence tomorrow, okay? So you
mean that during one... Okay, so you mean that during that time of the challenge, we'll have like several words during the whole hour?
No. During the hour, you'll have one sentence, okay, and one sentence per day.
Yeah.
One sentence.
No, one word. Oh.
And yeah, we're on. Okay, so it looks like Tram won't be able to join us. I haven't got a message from her on the forum, so Tram, if you're watching this, don't forget, if you want to join us and you can't, or if you said you would join us and you can't, just let me know on the forum, then I know not to keep an eye on people logging in and out, etc. Now, Marco, you were asking about how can you change your badge, about your membership. Did you figure it out? What appears above your head, yeah?
Yes, I know, good.
Excellent, good.
Zom helped me how to, not how to clear, but how to remove, but we didn't know how to how to add just a member of LEN network.
Okay.
Yes.
LEN members, yeah? You just activate it, okay? You just go to your groups, right click on the group you want to show above your head and you activate it, but you also have to make sure that you're set up to show group membership, which you are. So you listen to a sentence, write the sentence out and then find the hidden word. I tell you how many letters there are, but you have to look for the hidden word, and it's joined up between two words in the sentence. When you put parts of them together, so it will be the end of one word and the beginning of the next word, and you put them together, you will find a hidden word. Okay? It's easy. Good, April. I'm glad to hear it. Well, I thought last week's Riddle Me Ree and the week before's was so difficult. You needed something challenging but not too difficult.
But for every day we have one word.
Yes, every day there's a word.
When we have to send.
Yep, and if you send it to me in a private message that day, okay, it has to be that day, not the next day. Don't do them all at once at the end of the week. Each day, then you get entered. You get one entry into the draw per day. Okay, per correct answer, of course. But it's like a daily limit. So it doesn't matter if you miss a couple of days. If you get 3 days, 4 days, that's fine. You'll get 4 entries into the draw if
but less possibilities, correct. Yeah. If you collect them all, you will have
you have more possibilities. Absolutely, the law of probability. The law of probability.
But you mean that the words are related to one word?
The moment I've got member of Hypersonic Systems, woohoo! April's member of LEN Supervisors, Monik is member of LEN Members, and Shiny is member of LEN Members as well. You won't be able to see your own. What does it show above my head? Anything?
Nothing.
Okay, that's because I've got it set up.
For any one of you.
Okay.
I can see anything.
You can't. You have to change it in your preferences then, okay?
Oh.
You can go to preferences and it gives you all sorts of different visuals, okay? So when you look at, I think it's notices, you can...
Notices, notifications, maybe.
Not notifications, no. I'm just trying, I've just moved to a different viewer, so it's going to be slightly different.
Go to general.
General. Oh, thank you.
General.
Okay.
General. Okay.
So I normally. Okay. It says name tags off or on. Okay. So if you have name tags on, then it shows your name tag to other people, and you can also hide your group title or show your group title.
Hide for me is not checked. Hide on group titles.
There you go. Then
to check it.
If you check it, then nobody will be able to see what group you're a member of.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. So it's not checked for me.
Okay. So once you've checked that, and then you might need to relog, but don't bother with it today. It's just for future. Future reference, basically, okay? But I had it down on my list of things to do when we had time to just say to you, had you sorted yourself out with it, or did you need more help? But remember, I
will dedicate one session.
Yeah, well, just look through your preferences.
One of my sessions to explain me about Kitely.
Oh my goodness! Yes. You think that will only take one session? Okay, you can ask for that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm optimist.
Probably 2 sessions, mate. It's probably 2 sessions.
Two. I have 2. Okay.
You do.
And 3rd is possible.
It's possible. Yes. You never know. I haven't done the draw yet. I haven't done the draw yet. No. I was doing the new game last night, so I hope it's not too confusing. But somebody's already got it, and so.
What game? Sorry.
On English Radio. It's a new game. Last week it was Guess the Theme, and it's not Riddle Me Ree, it's a hidden word.